Hello everyone, I'm Lorene HD. Welcome to my channel, and most of all, congratulations to you for getting tested for STIs. Now, I shouldn't really be congratulating you because sexual health is health. And as a grown-up, a mature person accountable for their health, checking that every aspect of their health, including sexual health, is in good standing is kind of common sense. But we all know it's not, because our sex-negative culture makes sure we are terrified of testing positive for an STI, even though most STIs are either manageable or treatable. Go figure. So, congrats to you for braving the social stigma, especially if you're an adolescent, given that in the US, physicians spend on average 36 seconds talking about sexual health to adolescents when they do bring it up. So you've probably been told by either a partner, a parent, a pamphlet that as a sexually active person, you should really get tested at least once a year for STIs. But has anyone prepared you for that time between tests and results? For the never-ending what-ifs?
For the panic attacks?
For the slow-mo replays of potentially risky moments of recent sexual encounters? Don't worry, I gotcha. Take a deep breath and let's dive into this quick survival guide to face the waiting game like a pro. Let's go! So tip number 1, binge on self-care. Oftentimes, new partners tend to be the trigger for STI testing, but don't get fooled. You are the main beneficiary here. And personally, after every single time I get tested for STIs, I like to remind myself that I've just done something extremely valuable for my body, and I should therefore do something extremely valuable for my mind. So what does that look like for you? Is it going for a run? Is it preparing a home-cooked meal while maybe listening to a podcast? Is it picking up that book that you've been meaning to start for a while? Whatever that happy place, that mental happy place is for you, head over there and help your mind be a good sport for what your body may or may not be going through. Tip number 2, remind yourself that you have more to lose by not getting tested. Reminder that the vast majority of STIs are asymptomatic, meaning that they do not provoke any symptoms while still living in your body and being able to be passed on. Untreated chlamydia and gonorrhea can leave uterus owners infertile, and unmonitored HPV can leave people with advanced stage of cervical or throat cancers. Trust me, I know that fears are hard to move past, but regrets are far worse than fears, especially when all it would have taken to de-escalate the progression of any STIs that you might have was a simple routine test that you could have gotten at a clinic or even from the comfort of your home. So knowing your status will help you manage the severity of any potential infection and get the treatments available to make sure that as little damage as possible is done to your body. 3, educate yourself on what living with an STI actually looks like. You are lucky. You are extremely lucky to live in the age of social media where you have access to wonderful humans taking the shame out of living with an STI. I'll give you a few names to get you started. Courtney Brame, founder of Something Positive for Positive People. Ella Dawson and her wonderful TED Talk, STIs Aren't a Consequence, They're Inevitable. Rue Kayat, Positive Results. Devin Wilson, Safe Slut. Public Cervix Announcement. Lexi Gibson, Rafe Durazi, and many more will spill the tea that living and dating with an STI is far from being the nightmare that pop culture loves to perpetrate. Tip number 4, remember that most STIs are treatable or manageable. Sure, HIV and HSV don't have a cure. You can't just pop a pill and make them go away. But both have a pill that you can take to limit their effects. Antiretroviral therapy allows people who are living with HIV to lower their viral load so much so that their status becomes undetectable, which means untransmittable. Which means that if someone who is living with HIV has an undetectable status, they can have unprotected sex with someone who doesn't live with HIV, and the risk of transmitting HIV to that person is 0. This is huge. Huge. For HSV, let's remind ourselves that we're talking about a minor skin condition that over 67% of the global population has. Unlike antiretrovirals used for HIV, antivirals used for HSV won't guarantee transmission-free sexual encounters, but they have proven to cut by half the chances of transmission of HSV2, which were already pretty low in the first place. And tip number 5, go wild on distractions. So many are the times where distractions will feel like a curse, but in this specific case scenario, they are a blessing. Let's face it, hypochondria is not going to change your test results, and it's probably not going to help you process the social stigma that you, like the rest of us, have probably internalized. The hard work is done. So now is the time to throw the entertainment bone to your mind and let it run far away from thinking about your test results. If your mind comes back to it, just celebrate all the things that your body allows you to live every single day, and remind yourself that most likely than not, none of those things would be taken away by a positive or potential positive diagnosis. You are way too cute, way too smart, way too kind, way too charming, way too funny for a positive diagnosis to ever define who you are. If you think this video was helpful, please leave a thumbs up and let me know in the comments below what are your tips and tricks to face the waiting game between test and results like a pro. If you haven't gotten tested in the past year, feel free to check iPlaySafe to get tested in the comfort of your home. That's it. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you soon. Ciao.